Let's start, Rohin.
Yes, sure.
So I will be on mute in case you require anything. Just call out my name or Chaitanya's name.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Chaitanya. You'll be introducing and then we'll start.
So the attendees are already joining the session, so we can go ahead and probably you could start with your introduction, Rohin, in the meantime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Chaitanya. So welcome everyone. I'm Rohin Parkar. I'll take my thoughts on how IoT is going to affect our lives after COVID-19. Once COVID-19 is over, and as we are coming out of COVID-19 crisis, what kind of technologies will affect our lives and how we are going to change as human beings. Before that, I'll just give a brief introduction to myself. I'm Rohin Parkar. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Spintly. Spintly is a smart access control platform which provides contactless access to users using a smartphone to either office doors or any access control barriers. I started my career in 2001, where I joined Baba Atomic Research Center as a scientist, and then I joined TCS from there on and went to US in about 2005 and worked there for about 12 years, working for Nokia and Broadcom, and a couple of startups in Silicon Valley. Then I came back to India in 2017. We started a company called IoT Technologies, and in around 2018, end of 2018, we launched the brand called Spintly for our access control product, which is an IoT product for access control. That's a brief about me. So pandemics, although it seems like this is the worst one, our humanity has seen worse pandemics before, which have killed millions of people. This is a brief history. These are just a few major ones which I have listed. The 10 major ones. The Black Death, which killed 150 million people in 1300s. Right. The recent one, which we are aware of, is H1N1 swine flu in around 2009 to 2010, which was there for about a couple of years, about a year or more, which killed about 500,000 people but infected about 1.4 billion people. I remember this very well because my daughter, who was around year old, 1 year old, she was affected by this, and we were really scared. But she recovered very well out of this. We also have AIDS, which is still present, but it is not spread through air. But it has killed about 35 million people so far. That's also a viral infection. And now COVID-19, which is spread across the globe. So far, it's infected 4.3 million people, and probably it will infect even more, and killed about 0.3 million people. So the point here is we will see more pandemics in future, right? And we need to be prepared for it. What's the impact on the world? It has a major impact for the people, as we have seen, and 80,000 deaths in US alone. This is going to many people in across the globe have lost their jobs. So many things have closed. All the kids are at home. So each of this problem which you see here is kind of an opportunity to prepare ourselves for the future. Like how Elon Musk is already preparing for a catastrophe which may hit the globe, right? If you look at this analogy here, we have been hit by coronavirus. but in future we could be hit by meteor, right? So Elon Musk has started a company which is preparing the humanity to move to another planet, right? We don't know when that is going to happen. So as humanity, we may be hit by a virus in future, right? We don't know. And we need to be prepared for it. So each of these problems is a future opportunity for startups to build a solution which could be really useful. So educational system, so Byju's right now is in a great shape, because everybody is trying to teach their kids while they're at home. So they're enrolling into online programs, educational programs. So that's the foresight anybody could have. Uh, Supply chain across the globe has collapsed. So we could try to find out solutions for that. Hospitality industry has been, hit very badly. All the hotels are almost empty, and nobody would dare to go into a hotel in future also, until things start becoming really normal, right? Or if the hotel has a special contactless system, then only feel comfortable about it. Airline industry is halted. So this COVID has a major impact in the world, and if we see what are the problems, we can actually come up with solutions and startups which could address these problems. So I'll be covering a few of in this talk. As far as impact in India, we call ourselves lucky that our cases, although 80,000 is a big number, but still as compared to the US, we are way better off. Um, Unemployment in India has risen from 6 to 26%. Various sectors have been hit. Agriculture actually is very important now because all we need is on a table, but it is hit because of the logistics. Food cannot be transported from one state to other states easily. But India is good in terms of putting lockdowns across the country, and also they're coming up with great policies which we could look forward to as startups. They have changed the FDI policies to prevent overinvestment from Chinese investors into Indian startups and hostile takeovers. They're promoting Make in India. Our minister just announced policies for MSMEs, which we can take benefit out of. The Prime Minister announced that we need to become self-reliant, which means we need to manufacture our own stuff. So we as a hardware startup, we were already kind of doing it. We were doing our products in India. Our supply chain still was in China, so we're trying to figure out how our supply chain can move into India. So a lot of opportunities for startups for manufacturing products, right? In India, government will give good support. We should look forward to that. So lockdown itself brought Mr. Scene so many opportunities, so many startups. Home delivery apps gained more user base. Zomato, Swiggy, the user base swelled. More orders started coming in for home deliveries of groceries itself. Video conferencing apps for work from home really gained traction. Zoom daily downloads, which were about 56,000 in January this year, rose to 2.13 million downloads per month in March. Remote monitoring and control, to now control things remotely. So if you have a factory running, you cannot go there and to be able to start machines remotely, monitor machines remotely. These are opportunities when lockdowns hit or you have to work from home. VR, AR are more opportunities where you want to actually experience the thing which is going on in a particular field, in a factory, where you want to feel like you're walking through the manufacturing plant, right, and want to see the plant. So VR and AR could be a technology which has big opportunities in lockdown situations. GPS and geofence based applications also have more opportunities. So what is the post-COVID world going to look like? So contactless is a word which is already getting more and more traction and buzz across the globe. Where anything where you want to touch things, touching things was around us was just a normal thing, right? We would just hold a door, open a door, close a door. A normal person in an office space, on an average, is a door handle 20 to 25 times, right? So contactless access is one area that we are actually operating as a business, where we see huge. Contactless payments is although it's there are Google Pay, there is Paytm, but there is not in the country as in India. Across even in US, in US country which is done really well in terms of phone based already, even before the virus struck them. But India has still a long way to go. I feel that will accelerate contactless payment applications. So that's one. Company startups are building applications for contactless payment. Say contactless transportation, where when you get into the bus, you make your payment using your smartphone and not having to give cash or give a card. Now gesture-based technologies. So when you go to any kiosk where you have to touch a screen, right, and select your menus in the screen. Now it won't be, you'll think twice before touching the screen. Who must have touched it before, right? So gesture-based technologies where you're just moving your fingers and giving gestures to make things change on the screen. Those technologies could have more applications. Proximity-based technologies for payments again. So technologies like Bluetooth, NFC. So I'm going to cover a little bit of technologies as well and what are the use cases. Image recognition technologies, where your door opens for you just by your face, right? Metro, for example, now is going across the country. Right? Mumbai Metro is coming up. Delhi Metro is already there. Bangalore Metro is coming up. Other cities will start. And these metros have these barriers, right, where you either put your token or use your smartphone. So those barriers will have to be really contactless. If people have to use public transport, they have to move in a way that there's still some social distancing which is being maintained. Right? Remote working technologies. So if healthcare people have to work remotely, like a doctor has to do something remotely, he needs to get the data from the patient, right, to his computer or wherever he is, so he can make quick decisions or even change the dosage of a patient, right, remotely based on the data he's getting. So those kind of applications, will start seeing more use cases in the future. This is a little bit about us, how we responded to the crisis. We had a product which was mobile-based access, and we used to call it mobile-based access, smartphone-based access control system. And mainly, we were giving the convenience to users where they don't have to carry their card to offices and use their smartphones to unlock all the doors whichever they have to go in their office. But with the sudden outbreak, all the devices which were mainly used in offices, they were banned by the Supreme Court. So we started seeing a lot more demand for our solution, where we can quickly move an organization from their old system to a new modern mobile-based system. All the buildings have elevators, so we had a product which we could give access. So we have a contactless elevator control system which we started. Use your phone and get into your office, and then go up to whichever floor you have to go to. Again, unlock the next door and start working by minimizing your contact with things around you. I'll go a bit into the technology side of the IoT technologies which are relevant, which will be even more relevant in the post-COVID scenario. So if you look at this graph, this is divided into, if you look at the left side, these are high-speed technologies, so 2G, 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi. The right side are low-speed technologies, LoRa's, Bluetooth, NB-IoT, Zigbee. If you look at the top side, these are outdoor technologies, long-range technologies, and the bottom half is the short technologies. Okay, so 2G, 3G, 4G, we use it for streaming videos to our cell phones like 4G technology, right? So over a longer distance. But they use a lot of battery. Phones almost discharge every day, right? And you have to charge them every day. So they're not suitable for applications where you need battery life. So when you're building your IoT solution, you have to consider which technology you to pick. And depending on the use side. If it's an indoor application, Bluetooth might be more suitable. If it's an outdoor application, LoRa might be a better solution, or NB-IoT might be a better option. So I'll be briefly going over each of these technologies and what are the strong points and weak points of each technology. Now, Wi-Fi, as you know, everybody uses Wi-Fi, but it's suitable for higher data rates. Watching a video, it's not suitable for something like your wristband, which is a smart watch. If you put Wi-Fi into it, it will start draining battery. So it typically comes with Bluetooth and it lasts for about a week or so, right? You can run with it. It will collect all the data. It will sync it with your phone. And charging the battery every day becomes a pain for many people. So depending on the use case, you have to use the technology for the product you're trying to develop. I'll go to each of these technologies. We specializes in Bluetooth as a technology. We've used it in all our products. And we use something called as Bluetooth mesh in our products. So Bluetooth, everybody knows Bluetooth for a long time. We use Bluetooth mainly to play music in our cars. Right? That's like the most common use case, or answer phone calls while we were driving in the car, right? So and in hands-free mode, that's the most common use case. So that means every phone has Bluetooth around any phone. A few years back, all cars did not have, only certain models had, but now Bluetooth has become a standard feature in all cars. So Bluetooth has very low power consumption. It doesn't use as much battery. You can build Bluetooth devices which can last for almost 10 years. Single coin cell battery, like a temperature sensor which is stuck on a wall somewhere, which has a Bluetooth functionality. It broadcasts its temperature every, say, half an hour, and we can go to the cloud, and then you can do data analytics on it. So you can spread such sensor building, and you can build a smart building kind of a solution. Now, Bluetooth has also come up with something called Bluetooth mesh technology, which allows a lot of Bluetooth nodes to talk to each other. And that is what we do with our products. Access control systems, if you have a building with, say, 20 doors, we install our readers on all these 20 doors. Typically, traditional systems, you have to pull a wire from the server room all the way to the door, each door. So imagine if you have 50 doors, you have to pull 50 wires across the building, right? So we completely eliminate that cabling. Our access control readers talk to each other over a mesh network. So we made use of mesh technology for access control. So mesh can be used for smart lighting solutions or smart building solutions, energy management. A lot of use cases of these mesh technologies are there. There are battery-less devices in the market right now, called kinetic switches, which are powered by Bluetooth, which don't even have a battery. So you may see devices which don't need batteries, which just get powered by themselves when you press the switch. So Bluetooth by itself is a powerful technology. So one of the use cases in the COVID situation, which was used widely in countries like China or Singapore, and was contact tracing, where they wanted to know how many people are getting in close contact with a person who might have had COVID, and so they used WeChat in China, and they enabled that feature in WeChat. So you would walk around, receive these Bluetooth beacons, and they call it Bluetooth beacons. And if any person was infected, he would be tagged. And if you receive a beacon from an infected person, you get a notification, hey, that you have been close to a person who was sick, so you better quarantine yourself. Bluetooth technology was used very well by China in contact tracing, and that was seen by Google and Apple, and they've released a library now which is open to all to build contact tracing applications. So we could build contact tracing applications now. So in future this will be could be a feature in many applications. We do contact tracing anonymously. We do contact tracing, and we notify people that you need to be quarantined. You've been close to a person who was infected, without telling them who was infected and all that. So asset tracking is another technology which is powered Bluetooth beacons. So if anybody is interested in Bluetooth technology, beacons is a new thing. There are two types of beacons: beacon and Eddystone beacons on the web. So these can be used for indoor location tracking kind of applications. One of the use cases could be in airports. We are handed these boarding passes, right, which are printed papers. Now, if they are automated printed from a machine, then it's fine. But if a person is handling it, you may not want it. You want a soft boarding pass, and it could be a mobile app, and then using indoor tracking can actually find a gate. There are use cases of Bluetooth mesh technology in indoors. LoRa is a very popular technology which came a few years back, and it was for outdoor applications, IoT applications, where you can have applications like water meter monitoring or monitoring of, say, smart lights on the roads. So you see a diagram here. So pet tracking, you can put a small instead of a GPS. So GPS uses a lot of battery. So you can put a LoRa small tag around a pet, and that can send the signal to one of the concentrators. So LoRa is a technology where you need a special kind of a gateway, which can only talk to nodes. So the network has to be set up. So many people are renting out their networks. They're setting up networks, and then you can deploy nodes, LoRa nodes across the city, detecting, collecting data of various physical activities or temperature or air quality monitoring. Right? And then these gateways connect to the cloud, and then you can build applications on top of that. LoRa operates in the frequency band of 868 to 915, which gives it a very long range. They are battery efficient. We listed some of the other applications here. Smart buildings could be powered by LoRa instead of LoRa has its own challenges. It is dependent on a gateway or a network which is stable in that area, or you will have to start setting up your own network. So it's not as widespread. So the other technology which is trying to displace LoRa is called urban IoT technology, which is already now becoming a reality. It's already launched in the US. It was supposed to be launched in India this year by Reliance. I don't think it was rolled out yet. But the best part of NB-IoT, it is built on top of our current cellular technology. So you don't need to deploy an additional hardware for network purpose. It's a software upgrade on the existing base stations which are there. So Reliance is going to roll out NB-IoT, saying that it will now we have NB-IoT on our Geo platform. You can buy NB-IoT devices and build applications on top of it. So NB-IoT, I think, could be a better solution for outdoor IoT kind of actions and could displace LoRa. NFC is another technology which has been around for a long time for contactless payments. So since contactless is something which will really gain traction, NFC will start seeing applications where payments can be done in contactless way, where you just get your phone close to a reader and the financial transactions happen through. Right? It works from around 2 to 5 away. Phones by default come with NFC. In India, there is the lower end models don't have NFC, whereas the high end models always have NFC. iPhone always comes with NFC. It's a very small tag, which can be even, you can have a small wristband, which is a passive wristband. So that's one charged ever. It is for applications like identity management, attendance tracking, asset identification, payments, and ticketing and transportation. So either you can use, there are two technologies which can typically be used for proximity. One is NFC and other is Bluetooth. NFC is kind of a little bit more secure because you really need to come 2 to 5 centimeters, almost 2 centimeters close to the reader. Right? So nobody can hack into it without being very close. So Bluetooth can be configured. That the way we do it, we have an algorithm where it only communicates when it is within 2 or 3 centimeters. But it can also work from say 10 meters, right? So both the technologies can be used for proximity-based transactions, NFC being more safer. One of the other areas which has been gaining traction and which will actually gain more traction is AR, VR, and MR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. One of my friends has a company in Silicon Valley. It's called Great Raster. They do MR solutions for industrial applications. Like their customers are airline customers. So Air France is one of the customers where say if an airplane has to be looked at by an expert, doesn't have to fly there all the way. They have a camera where the expert wears the camera, say wherever he is, and there are devices which they deploy in that other location, and he can actually navigate around. And they have almost made it look real time. So they have a network in place. They have the technology in place where their latencies are below a few milliseconds. Right. So going forward, people will not always be able to travel across the country or across the globe. They'll be forced to do things remotely. At this point, if you have to travel, you cannot. Right? Even if I want to travel, flights are not there, trains are not there. Right? The only alternative to really be there without being there is augmented reality and virtual reality. So currently, if you look at right now, the major applications have been in gaming. So I always when I talk to a friend, I always say it was as if you saw the future coming, and now you are getting so much traction on the build. Because everybody is wanting to use this. So e-commerce and retail is another area where this can be used. Where when you're buying stuff, you instead of just looking at a picture of it, you can actually almost kind of see it. You can go around it using the camera and buy it after you're really happy with it. Real estate. So if you want to visit an apartment, you would have to go and see the apartment. You could do that while sitting at home. You can have a virtual tour of the entire apartment. Healthcare. Right? Healthcare is an extreme use case where doctors want to say do surgery remotely. Right? That could be possible. There could be a lot of legal challenges that or compliance related issues, but in principle, it could be really life saving because nobody can. There are not too many doctors who can perform complex surgeries. There is a few of them on your hand, right? And if they cannot travel, then it's a big education sector, right? Where virtual classrooms can be done using AR and VR. So what are the technologies? IoT definitely becomes a major part of AR VR because you need a bunch of sensors. Right? You need gyroscopes. You need all types of sensors which are collecting data and then sending it back. And then if you are say you have a joystick in your hand or you have some kind of a thing in your hand which you move, and then something moves on the other side of the globe, right? So that has to happen in real time. So the sensor technology, robotics on the other end, and image processing for sending the video back to your back to your Oculus or whatever device you are wearing. So IoT will have a big impact in AI as well. just finally, when you are building your solution, it's very important you just don't jump on to building solution with whatever technology you get hold of, right? I've seen many startups start with ESP32 and just start building a solution on top of it, without doing the enough research. Is it scalable? And then they suddenly realize, they have pitched to investors. Investors also don't know technology, right? And they invest money, and then the startup fails because they just did not use it for the right use case. So it's very important you start with the right technology. Startups definitely have to start with the customer first, where you're building UI and solving a problem from customer side. But when you're choosing the technology, at least you have to talk to some experts on what is the wireless or IoT technology you are going to select for that particular use case. So this will give a quick selection guide for you. Yeah, so I think this is all I have to share. I would be happy to answer any questions. Hi, Chaitanya.
Yeah. Hello.
Guys, if you have any questions, can you just post them in the Q&A section?
So the question is, what is the role of integrated home gateways like Samsung Smart Things?
What is the role of, say, something called as Samsung Smart Things, right? What
Yeah,
is the role of smart applications?
integrated home
So these
gateway.
are integrated home gateways. So Samsung Smart Homes is a smart home platform which allows you to control say, smart lights. For you have to buy a Samsung gateway, which will be supported by the Samsung platform. So everybody is trying to create its their own ecosystem. So Samsung wants to create its own smart home ecosystem. So similarly, Xiaomi is trying to create its own smart home ecosystem. On the other hand, Jio is trying to now create its own smart home ecosystem, right? Uh, so so they launch these applications, and then they have their own hardware, gateways. It's a business model kind of a thing where so Jio may be in a better position to sell you a home router which is already enabled with smart home features, and you can then control lights and curtains, whatever you want with it. So the gateway will be the central device whenever you have a smart home solution. That is the only way that your smart things will connect to the internet. Now every light will not have Wi-Fi in it, right? It will be powered with something like Bluetooth or Zigbee technology. So you need a gateway which will talk to all your smart devices, and the gateway is then connected to the cloud. So if you want to turn on a light from somewhere else, it's through the gateway. Does it answer the question?
Yeah, yeah. And are they expected to grow in India, Rohin?
Yeah, I think this is just the beginning of smart homes, right? I feel that smart homes will become a norm
Mm-hmm.
going forward, just because it makes sense. Just to give you example, I mean, that was our one of first products. So whenever you install lights in the home, so you put 10 lights in a room, right? So you'll be wiring those 10 lights to a particular board, switchboard in your room, right? Or two or three
Mm-hmm.
locations. You'll be running wires, right? Now, imagine I just talked about a kinetic switch, which doesn't need any battery, so you can stick it anywhere you want. So if every light comes with a Bluetooth connectivity, that means you can pair any of these switches to any of these lights, right? So I can mount to and pair these switches with any lights I want. So now you've eliminated the wiring, which is going to switches, which just makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. You save cost on wiring. And in future, I would think this may be the only way lights are installed and switches are controlled. It will be just voice are not required. So I feel it
Hmm.
is not about the smart home. It is actually will make just make sense to do it. It's like the aux cable in the car, right? When you had to play music in a car, everybody carried an aux cable, right? And the stereo
Hmm.
system used to have aux hole there, and you would plug it in. Now it just doesn't make sense to carry aux cable because Bluetooth is just makes it easier, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. And how do you see AI in electrical infrastructure?
So AI is basically data. AI works on data. So whenever you are collecting data, you can then provide intelligence, right? You can learn, you can do machine learning on that data, and then start predicting things, right? Okay, are they going? Are is the AC going to go bad, right? Or
Hmm.
is your light going to go bad? Anything you can provide this insight. So a lot of big corporations, they
Hmm.
can really save cost, right? If they do proper predictive maintenance, then they can
Hmm.
save a lot of cost in future. So yeah, AI will definitely play a big role in electrical systems or anywhere. The reason why we were not been able to do it is because the cost of installing sensors to collect data was high, right? But with wireless
Hmm.
technologies, it will come down. So mesh technologies. So now
Hmm.
AI can be used on data will be available to do AI.
Hmm. 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 Great. And how do we achieve scale in the IoT industry to bring down costs?
So first of all, you have to do you pick up the right technology for the use case.
Hmm.
That is the first important thing. If you pick the right technology, it's cost effective. Batteries are battery life is less,
Hmm.
and then it is easy to scale. Many companies, home companies, just did their application based on Wi-Fi, and then they did good business, but they could not really become a huge brand in the industry. Right? I've
Hmm.
not seen
Hmm.
any startup coming out of a smart with a smart home product and trying to take on somebody like Xiaomi or Samsung, right?
Hmm.
So rise of technology is really important.
Hmm. Hmm.
Other part of the scale is obviously manufacturing, right? So how you're setting up your supply chain and manufacturing.
True.
Uh, in India is not a manufacturing hub, but I think it is going to change going forward. So contract manufacturing was the way to go till now, where you can contract manufacturing your design, just focus on design, get it manufactured outside in China, and then scale it. But that may change going forward.
Yeah. If there is any other questions, please do drop your questions in the chat window.
I think we are good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are no more questions coming up. So thanks, Rohin. Thank you so much for taking out time to hold this session. Thank you, Chaitanya, for organizing it.
Thank you.
And we will send out a feedback form and gain feedback on how the session was, and probably also try to share this recording over email.
Yeah.
So thanks, Rohin. Thank you so much. It was a very insightful session. We got to learn a lot of new technologies and how IoT is actually playing a role.
Thanks for the opportunity. This was just
Yeah,
of an overview. If anybody is interested in more details, they can always reach out to me.
sure. So we will send out the feedback form along with the details where you can be reached out on. Probably
Hmm.
somebody can
Sure.
easily get in touch with you.
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks for the opportunity.
yeah. Thank you. Bye, bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining the session again.
Thank you.